All right, this is Clayton County Magistrate Court preliminary hearing calendar. This is the state of Georgia versus Donald E. Chapman. Warrant numbers 2026 CW 50553 and 50554, 50555, 50556. All parties are present and have announced ready to proceed. 88 Thomas, you can present the state's case.
Also need for you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the evidence you should give before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Put your hand down. State your name for the record.
Officer Marcos with Clayton County Police.
And were you so employed on or about February the 1st of 2026?
Yes.
And did you have occasion to investigate an incident that occurred at 22, should I get this right address? I believe it's 228-B31AK Morrow Road.
Yes.
And is that within the confines of the city of Forest Park, Clayton County?
Clayton County.
And just to be sure, what exactly is at this address? Is this a house, an apartment? What is this?
It's an apartment complex.
Okay. And do you know the name of the complex?
Ooh, I know it starts with, I think, River, if I'm Redwood Ridge.
Okay. And during your investigation, did that involve a Donald Chapman?
Yes.
And could you explain to the court what happened at that location on this date involving Mr. Chapman?
So I got dispatched to a domestic disturbance. When I arrived there, I observed the victim, Tamia Kemp. She was being evaluated by our EMS, just being checked out. As I was asking her questions, what had occurred, she had told me that her boyfriend had laid hands on her. It got into a physical because she refused to have sex with him.
Okay. And you say she was being treated by EMS when you got there. What was wrong with her?
I'm guessing she was being evaluated. She requested to be evaluated due to the nature of how the call came out, where she said she was being choked. She got choked. And I did observe some injuries on her fingers where it was blood coming out. And that's all I can remember, yes.
Did you observe she had any physical injury that around her neck or area?
I didn't see like scratches or like visible marks. I did observe like some swelling.
And that was on her neck?
Yes.
What did she say happened to her neck?
She said that she was locked in her restroom. Chapman had burst in, which caused her, well, first, like, that's what caused her for her nails to break. As they started tussling, she said, that Chapman had grabbed her by her hair and dragged her towards the bedroom, which the bedroom and the restroom were like right there close. She was in the bed tussling with him. She stated that he had choked her using both his hands, which caused her to like have some shortness of breath and almost lost consciousness.
And you said that he broke into the bathroom and there was some type of fight?
Yes.
Was anything damaged or harmed during the fight?
I didn't observe no damaged door or anything. Like I said, otherwise I did observe like injuries on Camp's like fingernails. Her nails some were broken and she was bleeding.
Did she indicate if any of her property was damaged?
She did say her iron curly, I'm assuming like a curling iron, was damaged. She said that Chapman had threw some tips away and flushed them down the toilet and her curling iron was like broken.
Okay. What about any of her other property?
She mentioned some other property. What was it? It was a wax machine. That was damaged as well.
Was she able to clarify the approximate value of these two items that you know of? Was she able to
Yes.
give you how much?
So she said for the curling iron was around like 250 and her wax machine was about $280.
Okay.
200, I'm sorry.
Okay. Now, were they the only people in the apartment when the fight was going on?
So it was her daughter, and it was Chapman. So yes, three of them.
And the daughter, how old was she?
Oh, I don't remember. I actually don't. I'm so sorry.
Was she an adult or was she a child?
She was a child. She looked approximately like she was, I'll give it like around 8, 9.
Definitely not an adult.
No, not an adult. She was a child. She was a minor.
Okay. And where was the child when the fight was going on?
I asked her, she said the child was in her bedroom. The bedroom is like right there next to their bedroom. It's like across like the hallway. But once I got there, when I arrived, I observed the child. She was in the living room.
Was she in the living room with her mother?
Yes.
Did she indicate whether or not she saw or heard any of this?
She said she did hear how Chapman was like she heard tussling and yelling. Mom did say that she told the daughter to call 911 because she couldn't and sent her downstairs.
So
So
the
she
child is the one who actually called 911?
yes.
Okay. How did the child appear? What was the child's demeanor?
Um, like I said, she would when I got there, she looked calm in the living room. She was playing with her iPad.
But she definitely heard what was going on and saw what happened.
I wouldn't be able to say if she observed everything, but she definitely heard stuff going on.
Okay. Now, Mr. Chapman, is he the victim's boyfriend or does he live there?
Yes, I asked her if they were married. She said no. I asked them if they have children. She said they don't have children, but they do live together and they have been living there for 4 years in the apartment. That's what she
Okay.
told me.
Okay. So he's a live-in boyfriend.
Yes.
Did Mr. Chapman make any statements?
No, I tried to contact him through like phone. I asked for his phone number. Miss Camp, the victim, did provide it. I tried to call him like 2 times. He didn't answer.
Okay. So he was not at the scene when you arrived.
No, he was not. He had left in I believe it was a white truck, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he left in a truck though. She did say he has history of like when it gets physical, he always leaves the scene.
Okay. Did he return while law enforcement was there?
Nope.
And was any of this captured on body cam?
Yes.
Your conversation with the victim?
Yes.
Were you able to capture her injuries?
I did. I took pictures and I attached them to the report.
What about the conversation with the child? Were you able to capture that on body cam?
I believe, I don't know if I did question the child much. I
Okay.
just went more towards the victim.
Okay. Were there other law enforcement officers there?
No, it was just me.
Okay. Was there any other type of video? Did the victim indicate any of this had been recorded in any way?
I asked her, no.
She said it was not?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen Mr. Chapman?
Nope, never.
Okay. What did you do to affect his arrest?
I asked for his information. The girlfriend did provided a tag which he was driving, so I was able to obtain this information from there, and that's how I just got warrants.
Okay. Your Honor, I believe that's all I have of this witness reserve right for redirect.
All right, any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Officer Marcos.
Good morning.
I just wanted to go over a few things to make sure I understand. When you spoke to Ms. Kemp, she said that Mr. Chapman had broken into the bathroom. Is that right?
Yes.
But you didn't see any damage to the door frame, the locks, etc.
Nope, I didn't.
Okay. And the two items that she mentioned were damaged, a curling iron and a wax machine. Is that right?
Yes.
The amount she gave you, was she able to substantiate how she came to those amounts?
No.
Did you actually see these two items?
I did.
Did you observe them to actually be broken?
Yes.
And You said you saw swelling on Miss Kemp, but no other evidence of strangulation, fingerprints, finger marks, any
Correct.
bruising or anything like that?
Correct.
Right. All right. And you said that the 8-year-old was in another room. When you spoke to her, did she give you any details other than that she heard something?
Well, like I said, I didn't really talk much to the juvenile. She was like coming in and out from her mother's room when I was there, trying to investigate what was going on. Um, but I didn't really much talk to the juvenile like that.
Okay. And you said that this is based on a 911 call. Were you able to listen to that 911 call?
No, sir, I didn't.
You don't know if she provided any further details.
No, I don't know. I didn't listen to it, so I don't know.
All right. And when you arrived at the location, you said that Miss Kemp was being checked out by EMS. Do you know if they took her for further medical care?
No, she refused.
She refused medical care. Okay.
Yes. She got treated in the scene, but she refused to be taken to the hospital or anything.
Okay. Just trying to make sure. You indicated that she advised you that she was grabbed by her hair and dragged out of the bathroom. Did you find any hair torn out, any damage to her scalp or back of her head?
No, I didn't see no damage or hair on the floor, but I did see her hair was like messed up from the back.
Just messed up. Okay.
Yeah, like tangled, if I'm explaining.
I don't have that problem. Okay. I think that's all the questions I have at this time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any redirect?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, any other evidence, witnesses?
Not at this time.
None for defense.
All right, 88 Thomas, are you reserving your right to close last?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll hear from the attorney, Rosenblum.
Judge, I'll address each charge as they appear on the docket. As far as the battery family violence, this is based solely on the statements of Ms. Kemp and what the child may or may not have heard. There's definitely some inconsistencies here, including the fact that she said that he broke the door down or door open to the bathroom, yet there's no damage apparent in that. I don't see this. There's definitely questions here as far as credibility is concerned. Cruelty to children, we don't have enough details as to what this minor child saw or heard, or whether or not she wasn't aware of the situation until mom told her to call 911. And again, this officer can't testify to what was said on the 911 call. Criminal damage to the property in second degree. Again, there's no damage to the door that was seen, and we only had the estimates by Ms. Kemp as to the valuation of these two items that would get it up to $530. There's been no evidence to support that assertion. As far as the aggravated assault strangling, the officer testified today there was no bruising, no fingerprints, no correlating damage to Ms. Kemp other than maybe some swelling. It doesn't seem to add up. She also said she was dragged by her hair, and yet there's no torn hair, no evidence was found of that, just that her hair was messed up. I don't think we've reached the point of probable cause. I think there's too many missing elements here for that charge as well, and I would ask that the court dismiss the aggravated assault charge at this time among the other charges.
All right, 88 Thomas.
And I do believe the officer has met the threshold of probable cause in this matter. We do know that there was a struggle and a fight between the parties. The victim herself attested to that fact. The officer was able to observe that the victim was being treated by EMS for her injuries. The officer was able to observe that the victim's hair was disheveled. Not everybody's hair, thank God, comes out when they're dragged by it, but the officer did observe that the victim's hair appeared to be disheveled. So we do know there was a struggle of some sort between the parties. The officer also was advised that the child's room was directly across from her mother's room. Therefore, the child very likely heard the struggle, and the child was also advised by the mother to call 911, which means the child had to actually describe what was going on. That led for officers to be dispatched. Further, we do know there was an aggravated assault strangulation where the officer said she did not observe fingerprints, but she did observe, if I recall correctly, some type of swelling around the victim's neck that would be consistent with that type of activity. We also know that we have a criminal damage felony amount in the second, where at least two of the victim's items, a wax machine and a curling iron, were damaged, which puts the threshold above at or above the felony amount. State would ask at this time that the case in its entirety be bound over to the Superior Court.
All right, the court finds sufficient probable cause for all of the charges. They'll be bound over to the Superior Court for further prosecution. This matter is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Thomas, pleasure as always. Have a good day.
You too. See you later. Your Honor, the state is ready on Trayvon Boyd.